everyone, welcome back. So yesterday uh, I talked about what is how JavaScript executes itself and how JavaScript executes itself and what is a call stack and why do we get a Stack Overflow error. So we will today we'll learn about hoisting in JavaScript. Hoisting is a strange thing. Like, it's not strange, I'm sorry. Like, hoisting is some of the things that you will just find in JavaScript. Many other languages do not support this, but JavaScript does, strangely. Okay, so what is hoisting? Hoisting generally means to lift up something or to raise up something. So, what does it mean in our context? What does it mean according to our language? Okay. Okay. So maybe we have this function. Okay. And then we have this file where we have connected these four files, and we went live. Okay. So as you would expect, the console to print one. What is this? What the fuck? Why isn't it printing? Source, no content scripts detected. Yeah, see, we have it. This one's. Isn't it printing? What? Okay, let's just close. Yeah. It prints it over here, but I wanted it in the incognito window. Isn't it printing over here? This is strange. Oh, sorry. I had this filter on. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. That's why I was thinking that this is really strange. This doesn't happen. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. You see, this is all what happens. Today I was building something and I ran into some error and it was again and again giving me undefined, and I was just so frustrated. Like, why undefined? The logic was all great, and you know what was the mistake? I I wrote capital I instead of small, and I spent 1 hour into debugging. Yeah, this stuff happens. Okay, so as expected, one is printed. Okay, may what would happen see we if we declare x and then we say it to print it, it will print it. No new thing in that. But what if we say print x before even declaring it? Let's just see. Oh, it prints undefined. But if it was a Java file or a C++ program or any other, it would be a huge red screen over here. Like, oh my god, you cannot do this. How dare you? This whole thing. But JavaScript is a chill guy. It's just a chill guy. It says like do whatever you want. I won't uh, bug you much. So one of the questions that interviewers ask is, what is hoisting, if it's a straightforward, or they will show you this code on the screen and then ask you what would be the output. So we know the output would be undefined. You would answer it correctly. Then they will ask why undefined. So so we'll say, so we will first do acting a little bit that, oh my god, we don't understand this. Who is this question? Why is undefined coming? Then we will answer, this is due to hoisting, hoist. Okay. So we'll answer this, then our interviewer will ask, what is hoisting? Okay. So basically, hoisting means, like, yeah, we already studied that whenever JavaScript executes any program, it first uh, creates a global context and then distribute it into two phases. First is memory creation and memory allocation, and then second is the code execution. The answer lies in the first half. Basically, hoisting in JavaScript means where we lift up the scope of the variables, functions, classes, or any objects that are defined in JavaScript, and then so we are able to access them even before we have initialized them. So basically, uh, like we start when this file was executed, the JavaScript first skimmed through all of this and allocated uh, memory to X. So when the code execution phase came, it already had a value inside it which was undefined. So and see, if now we print it, see, during the memory allocation phase, it assigned undefined initially and initially to X. Then during the code execution phase, it allocates correct variable whatever it is given. So when it came to line number one after the memory creation phase, it currently had undefined in it. So it said, okay, whatever it is I have, I'll just print it. Then it came over here, so now we have one over here. So if we have one over here, what JavaScript will do, it will just allocate one to its memory and then we print it. So we have one over here. So like this, it lifted up the scope. It lifted up the scope of the variables so that we were able to access them. Many a times in uh, large production based codes, some open source projects I saw, they do like this. Function 1, function 2, and then afterwards they define the function, whatever it was, and like this. And still it was all working because why? Due to hoisting. A very nice definition was there which I read in any article today. Hoisting. Uh, it was by. Who wrote it? I know. I don't remember. Ah, yeah. So, what was. I just want to present in polished uh, English. So, read it. Just a second, guys. Will not defined. No. Variable hosting. Hoisting. I just get confused between hosting and hoisting. Whenever you want to find something, you will never get it. And my stall hoisting. Uh, so sorry. See. Declared function to the top of the scope. So it just lifted this declaration to the top of the scope. So all in all, this is hoisting, and it's very simple. Okay. So so this was hoisting with uh, yeah. See, they have given. Hoisting is a JavaScript mechanism where variables, functions, and even classes, their declarations are moved to the top of their scope before the code execution. And how are they moved to the top of their scope? Using the in the memory allocation phase. Okay. So this was hoisting using var variable. What if we had let over here? Let's just see. What would be the output? Can you guess? Output would be a reference error. Yeah. So here comes another concept, reference error. Uh, so why do we get a reference error? And see if it's the same with const. And I just say solo one. See, oh, didn't pass through the X. It just stopped over there. So does it mean hoisting does not happen for let and const variable C over here also? Reference error. So does it mean JavaScript is variablist, like it discriminates upon the variable name let or const or var, whatever? So no, I don't think JavaScript does something like this. Why reference error comes is when we have a var over here, when we have a variable var over here, so it allocates undefined to it. Okay, but when it has let or const, so it does not know what to allocate to them. Like whenever JavaScript was whoever was designing it, he said that if there's a var, then say it's undefined. But if there's a let or const, don't allocate any memory to them. Okay, so like in the memory space, it does not know where what is y, what memory does y hold. It does it hold two? Does it hold undefined? Does it hold null or what? So so it does not know. If a language does not know anything at any point, it just throws an error. So that's why it just throws an error. Now another concept comes over here, which is the concept of temporal dead zone. See, uh, what do we mean by this? This means that uh, although let and const variables with let and const type are hoisted, but they cannot be accessed before initialization. And for the time being, where for the time when they are not initialized, they are in a temporal dead zone, which means that they cannot be accessed before initialization. And this means they are into the temporal dead zone. Okay, I think it's clear. You're right. Like, see, uh, I have initialized y over here, and I'm trying to access it over here. So JavaScript says, sorry, that's not possible because it is in the temporal dead zone. Okay, so this is done. Now let's just see what happens with functions. Okay, so maybe there's a function print hello, a normal function, not an arrow function. Let's say console.log hello world, and I'm accessing it over, and I'm also printing it. See over here, I'm not invoking or calling the function, but I'm just printing. I'm trying to know that before code execution, what is stored in this print hello thing, and then I'm invoking it, and then I'm declaring it. So let's just see how hoisting works its magic. So see. When I remember, I told you during the memory allocation phase, uh, JavaScript copies the entire function as it is. It does not care about of allocating undefined or giving a reference error. No, it just says, "Bro, I'm just going to print copy the whole thing." And then over here, even before the initialization or the function definition over here, I I'm trying to access this function and I am able to. Why? Because I have hoisting power with. Okay, so let's just tweak something and say it's a const because we use arrow functions like crazy in our in React and all of that. Okay, so maybe we have this, okay, and now we are trying to um, access these things. So what do you think? Yeah, see. Why? Because see, now once we have an equal to over here means this is no longer a proper function. It is just a normal variable print hello, which contains a function inside it. It is not a function, but contains a function if itself is a variable, const variable. Okay, so that's why now it's a const. So it again came into the temporal dead zone. That was not able to be it was not able to get access, we were not able to get access to it. Okay, so I think uh, in class also hoisting is applied. I don't think it applies, so maybe we have an animal class, uh, maybe name thing. I don't know, this dot name is uh, animal, dog, no, const dog equals to new animal, anything makes sense. So what would be again before initialization? So classes are also hoisted, but again they are hoisted just like let and const. They are in the temporal dead zone until we have not initialized them. Okay. One more thing we have to discuss. See, maybe we have a global function. A global function says no, maybe um, one second. So I have a global function, right? Then I have another function inside it. Maybe child function, no parameters, uh, solo child function, and then I have another function inside it. So this is maybe grandchild. Okay. Uh, what would be uh, now? What would happen if we would try to call the grandchild function over here? Let's just see. Nothing? No error? What? Oh, it didn't get printed out there. Nothing got printed. was the default table function. Yeah, see, why did it happen? I just a few minutes ago I told you that functions don't JavaScript doesn't care about functions, no temporal dead zone, nothing, access it anywhere, do anything with functions. Now when I'm trying to do this, I'm getting a reference error, not even an undefined or something like that. Silly. What? A reference. Why is hoisting not applied to grandchild? See, hoisting is applied, but hoisting also hoisting has its own scope. See, if you try to call this function inside this, then it might be sorry, call this one. See, now there's no issue. Now you can call this before even defining it or telling JavaScript anything about the function. You can call it, but as soon as you, sorry, as soon as you try to do this, it does not. Uh, it gives us a reference error because hoisting has its own scope. In the global function, the grandchild function is only limited to the child function scope. I think the names are a bit confusing. Let me just say it a first function, then this second. See, the second function is just limited to the scope of this block, the first function block. Anything outside of this is, if we have called, then that comes into the global function scope. And second function is just the part of the first function scope. It is not the part of a global scope. It's just a part of the local scope of first function. So when I try to access a function or any variable which has a local scope of itself into a global space, then JavaScript throws an error. Okay, so yeah, pretty easy, I guess. So this was all about hoisting. Hoisting is a pretty good topic, and it's also important for interviews, etc. So I hope I was able to explain it well. Thank you. Thank you for watching.